in this layer, basically, it will create the relationship between these different tables or from here, and it will list out all the groups. Like for example, if App Center requires, oh sorry, Customer 360 right now requires invoice and shop jobs, it will say that see invoice and shop jobs are like related, and then we make a group of it, and then the threads inside the API will be allocated to one particular application. So when the application says that I need data, that thread will just go get into this group, grab all the data, and then give it to you. And all the data will be provided in the form of JSON fragments.
Data from 100 stores.
So the 100 stores data will still be the raw data, which will still be paywise. This will just speed up the process. So relations.
So this is not the IIS SQL Server project we're talking. This is the data streaming API that we're gonna use to power everything that's gonna go from here. So once this whole thing is built up till here from that layer, then it's gonna basically at this point it's gonna just create endpoints. All right. So the invoice API right now has 20 endpoints, right? And based on so endpoint means, all right, have you looked at our store schedule page, the appointments page, right? So appointment page needs appointment, it needs a master customer number for CRM, it needs order details if there's any, it needs shop job if it's done, right? So now it requires those 4 sources of data. Now at this point we're gonna have the group for that, and that group is gonna be provided from here to this endpoint, and then store schedule is gonna use that endpoint. And as we are gonna make this travel way faster, and it's gonna automatically get its data. So then now our data is streaming from here all the way up to here, and then that thing is using it. Same thing, like for example, your machine, if you're gonna do market texts, right? Same thing. It's gonna get this invoice and shop job first. Not marketing, like this, the service text. It's gonna get this, stream this data, group it out here. What you need to send out the text, stream it right from here, create an endpoint, and you use that endpoint directly, right? So that's the structure. Now, in all this, what we don't have, we're still missing a piece. It's right here. where you're working right now? What layer you're working?
On what layer?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
This
And all this, like they are working on this layer, right? Getting this and this.
Oh yeah, we
right?
have.
So the API thing, the logic, what will be there in the
Alright, so
API?
let me try to get to the point. We're not working here. We have to work. We have to get all the data laid out. Alright?
Segregation.
Yes. So this thing, even before we do the groups, our main focus for this week is to get this straight, get this updating every second, looking at the current jobs that Matt showed you yesterday, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? We have to, because there's none of this till we get this right. Right? So all 3 minds, and I'll chalk out the plan with you how we're gonna do this, but this is the one that we're gonna do. So basically right now raw data is like right here. These applications are doing it here. It has to first go there, and then we start. By that time actually they're gonna have a good grouping.
Yeah.
On the application side. Yes, you gotta still do your grouping for all this, but at least you're gonna have that, and then you can start working on your groups, you can start working on her groups. Alright? Let's make this focus. This has to.
Yeah, I was working on segregation until the Kafka thing, and then
So this is because right now we're more focused on this, but we don't even know that this, in order to make this engine run, this engine has to be initial, right? So this is the focus. Right? So I think by the time I get done with them, if you want to show them what you're doing for invoicing, and then we'll chalk out the plan. We have to also get this. Eventually, you're gonna have so many tables. All right.
Yeah.
So many tables. So we have to just make sure our naming is gonna group those together so that we can always, when you're visually seeing it, it's all in one
It's a
place.
standardized naming.
Exactly. The next thing is when we create the jobs for it, like when we create a job for invoice, what 3 operations you're going to do? You're going to insert, update, and delete.
Yeah.
Right? So the job has to be doing what's update or whatever stuff